Hi, I'm Tom Favro, manager at Northern Ski Works. We're here in the boot lab at Northern to talk about custom boot fitting and what it means to an athlete. So we're here to talk about race boots in general. Basically, there's a couple different ways of looking at it. It depends on the athlete, but the big thing is that it's got to fit right and it's got to flex right. If you get a kid into a boot that's too tight, too big, doesn't fit the shape of his foot, he's never going to be balanced inside the boot, and it's just not going to work. So you have to start out finding a boot that's going to work for him as far as the fit goes. The next big thing is the flex. If a boot's too stiff, the athlete's going to pick up some really bad habits as far as steering the ski. He'll never be able to get it out far enough from underneath them. It'll just bring on a whole bunch of bad stuff. And then being too soft, on the other hand, is just as bad, because then he won't be able to initiate his turns or any of that. Yeah, so it's going to be a happy medium where he's going to be able to move the boot a little bit enough, and it's also got to fit right so that any movement of his foot is articulated, the energy is articulated right down to the edge, because that's the only way. That's what a boot is. It's a connection between your body and the ski. It's got to be like, a second skin for you able to ski properly. So there's a fair amount of talk about footbeds in ski racing. Personally, I think that anything's better than that little stock piece of foam that's on the bottom of your foot, although there's a fair amount of people that's all they use. Footbed, a custom footbed or a footbed of any kind, whether you've adapted that stock footbed with various fitting aids to make it a little more performance oriented, is better than no footbed at all. Kids that are really pronated, really flat footed, I think a custom footbed is the way to go, because that helps get their foot back into a more biomechanically correct position. Kids that have real high arch, or a cavus foot as it's called, a custom footbed actually helps them absorb shock better, because it acts like a little springboard inside the boot. Another thing about going back to the flex thing is that kid that has got the high arch, really stiff ankle mortise, he doesn't flex real well, he's going to be better off in a stiffer boot because it's going to help him absorb shock better. So you might have heard the term stack height, which is a little project with ski boots to help you achieve better edge angles by giving you more leverage. Because of the added height, you can turn the ski over quicker. So you can have 50 millimeters of stack height from the bottom of the ski to the bottom of your boot in regards to the binding. Then the ski boot, you can have from the bottom of the ski boot to the bottom of your insole inside the boot, 43 millimeters max, which presents the question itself, is that some boots we have to modify them for fit stuff, and then because of doing that, we're over that 43 millimeter height, and so you really don't need to put the plates on the bottom of the boot. That's what we do to gain that added height is plates, and usually they're 4 millimeters is what it needs to accomplish that extra stack height. But in some cases, like I said, due to inside boot work, you actually don't need the plates. So in some cases, the point is that the plates are not the universal thing. It all depends on the exact individual. If somebody's trying to get you to use plates, go get measured and set up a professional boot shop. Modifying your ski boots is not something you should try to do yourself. There is no way you could ever align the cuff properly, as well as we could. Pulling pins, grinding your boot boards, any of that. Even, trying to modify your footbed is best in the hands of the trained professionals that we are. And we've been doing this for years, and we could usually get you out the door all ready to go. So thanks for taking the time to check out our video and check out the lab, and hope the information was useful, and hopefully we'll see you soon.